Hey everyone, it's your favorite girl, and it's my favorite day of the week. That's right, Mortgage Tip Tuesday with It's Your Favorite Loan Officer, hashtag who? JLoan. That's right, another Tuesday, another tip. And today I am going to bring you some really great information if you are getting ready to go through your mortgage process. But of course, I like to start my days with what's significant about the day. And unfortunately, I couldn't find anything significant about today that I really wanted to share. But I will let you know that today is National Deviled Egg Day. And of course, I wouldn't know this because I don't like deviled eggs. That's right, I don't like them. Never have, but I know that that is a family favorite, especially coming into the holiday season. That is a dish that's on there. So today, celebrate, make yourself a batch, or find somebody who makes them that you love and enjoy some deviled eggs today. But tomorrow was a pretty significant day, and that's because tomorrow is National Stress Awareness Day. And I know sometimes we go through a lot in life that just burdens us, and it causes a lot of stress. And my job, for one, is super stressful. I know we may think that it's easy, or you may think that it's easy, but it's really not. I'm part of the process. I'm not fully in charge, but I am part of the process of helping you achieve your home ownership dreams, whether it be your first home, your second home, buying your first investment property, consolidating for debt. I am in charge of helping you to navigate this process, which can be very stressful, especially if you don't help cooperate in the whole process. Okay, so I will teach you something that I've learned. I don't always follow it because I'm human and I make mistakes and I have flaws, but I will say, if you can't change what happened, right? You can't change. Once something happens, it's done. You can only learn from that situation. And unfortunately, there are times in loans where things have happened over my 15 years in the business that you're like, oh my gosh, and you learn from those things. So the same thing with your life. There's things that you can't change, and there's nothing that you can do about what just happened, but you can prepare for the next time you are faced with a similar situation. It helps you to prepare how you would handle that in the future. So again, there's things you can change, and there's things that you can't change, and the things that you can't change, there's nothing you could do about it, but learn from it. So don't let it stress you out. So I am going to bring you to a topic, of course, for the mortgage that we want to talk about, or the mortgage tip that we want to talk about. And that is that it's one of my pet peeves. And again, I don't like to make videos about pet peeves because it's never really about me, but it is a pet peeve of mine. Because I help in this process. I'm like your front line. I'm your best friend. I help to present the best picture of your particular story when it comes to the underwriter. But as well, with my experience comes knowledge. And with knowledge, I understand and I know my guidelines, which means that when we are asking for documentation, there is a reason we are asking for documentation. So my biggest pet peeve is when a borrower asks me, why do you need this? And yes, you have the right to know, but that's not the way it gets asked. Like, I don't understand. I've provided you this, and I don't understand why you need such detailed information. And unfortunately, we're lending thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars on a daily basis. And so when we're doing that, we have to cross our T's and dot our I's. And yes, I've been in the business since 2006, that if you've had great credit, you really didn't have to provide anything but prove you are who you say you are. But unfortunately, over the years and throughout the housing market, there have been things that have happened. And unfortunately, some of those things are bad apples that ruin it for everyone, right? So every guideline has come from somewhere. And a lot of the guidelines that we follow today are, because of the foreclosure market, because borrowers were turning in tax returns to us that they never filed with the IRS, because someone had money fraud in their bank accounts because someone hid that they had child support and then they had a foreclosure later. There are reasons why these guidelines became in place, and most importantly, it protects the investor. And so because of that, that's why all of these documents come in place. So for instance, a basic list of things that are needed are W-2s for 2 years, tax returns for 2 years, a copy of your driver's license. Of course, we got to know who you are. 2 months bank statements, and 1 month of your pay stubs. That's the basic list, okay? And what happens is when we get that basic list, as we're reviewing them, yes, we tear it apart. If on that pay stub, we notice that there's child support that you did not state on your application that you had to pay, now we have to come back to you and say, hey, I need a copy of the child support agreement. Not just the page that details how much you pay, the complete child support order. The same thing for divorces. The same thing for alimony, and that's every divorce in the past 7 years. So if you've had multiple, we need multiple papers. Bankruptcy, if you had bankruptcy in the last 7 years, we do ask for the complete bankruptcy paperwork that shows all of the debts that were included in there. And you would be surprised, there are clients that say, well, why do you need this? We need this because we have to make sure every debt that was included and every debt that isn't, so we count it against your debt to income. Also, it tells us the timeline of when it was discharged or dismissed, and there's guidelines that come with that. So again, your process, your mortgage process will be much easier if you just get what is required, because you will stress yourself out and in turn stress me out if you're constantly, debating as to why. Why do you have to verify my employment? We have to verify your employment because we have to make sure that you truthfully still work there. And then even with COVID, everything got tougher, it got harder. And so companies are closing down, borrowers are getting furloughed, hours are changing, pay rates are changing. And if you're in the middle of a mortgage process and your income change or your hours change, that now affects your approval. And the lender wants to know this now before you close. And unfortunately, you can't make your payments because you've been either furloughed or your income has changed and now you can no longer afford it. So in lieu of National Stress Awareness Day, I'm just trying to help you through the process. I am your front end defense. I am your friend, I am your partner. And with that being said, my front end is harder than any other part of the process because my goal is to always issue a fair, accurate pre-approval so that when you put an offer on a home, you do in fact qualify for that home and can now worry about the home process instead of constantly saying, now we need this, please get me all of these documentation. And there is lenders out there that do a basic pre-approval. They look at that documentation really briefly, they pre-approve you, and I will 100% tell you a lot of the business that I close are from other lenders who cannot close the borrower that they issued pre-approvals on. And that's because either they pre-approve them wrong, their lender can't work with their particular story or their situation. Maybe I'm more creative. There's several reasons why, but there are a lot of false pre-approvals out there. So beware when you're doing that quick, easy online, because there's not a person that's really reviewing it. It's a computer, and we all know computers make mistakes. And so with that being said, in lieu of National Stress Awareness Day, don't stress yourself out. Don't stress your loan officer out. Don't stress your family out. Control the controllable and the things you cannot control. Again, there's nothing you could do about it. So enjoy the rest of your week. Don't stress, okay? If you have any questions or anything that has to do with purchasing or refinancing or building your dream home, I would love to help you. So again, have a fantastic rest of your week. I want you to be safe. I want you to be blessed. And until next Tuesday, it's your favorite loan officer, JLoan, signing off. Bye-bye.